In contrast to the colonies north and south were the middle colonies of New York and New Jersey. In 1626, the Dutch West India Company sent Peter Minuit to be the first Director General of New Netherland, a string of fur-trading forts along the Hudson River. That same year, Minuit traded with the Indians for the use of Manhattan Island, paying the equivalent of 60 guilders, or $24. On the southern tip of the island, a fort was built. It was called New Amsterdam and became the capital of New Netherland, later evolving into New York City.
The Dutch founded the first ethnically and religiously diverse society in North America. Even to call New Netherland Dutch is a bit misleading because the settlers included everybody involved in the Dutch North Sea trade. So you get Danes and Norwegians and Swedes and Scots and Englishmen and Germans and French, and there's a Jesuit priest who visited New Amsterdam in 1643 and claimed that there were 18 languages being spoken in a city with fewer than 1,000 people at that point.
And it was also a population that included the largest number of slaves outside the South. The proportion of slaves in the New York population was about 30%, which was very high for the North, and in fact was high for the South. And the Dutch had had an experience of bringing in slaves with the West India Company since the early part of the 17th century. And so there was a slave population already in place, a Native American trading population already in place, and an urban population in New York City, which was the hub of that mix.
Eventually, the Dutch encouraged settlement by patroons, anyone who could bring 50 people to the new colony. Patroons were rewarded with 15 miles of riverfront land on the Hudson River, which they ran as feudal lords. King Charles II of England despised the Dutch and decided to take their lucrative lands in the New World away. He gave it by decree, along with the territory that would become New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maine, to his brother, the Duke of York. The Duke immediately sent 4 ships to New York Harbor to demand the Dutch governor's surrender. Peter Stuyvesant, unable to rally any resistance at all, surrendered the most valuable real estate of its size in the world without firing a single shot.
So when the English arrive and conquer the place in 1664, they believe that they're going to get an English society and that the Dutch are going to somehow magically turn English. What happens is it's mostly single English men who come to New York who then marry Dutch women in the course of the 17th century, and the English find that their children are growing up speaking Dutch rather than English, so that it's a long time, really, before New York, New Amsterdam, New York City becomes a truly English city. It has a very distinctive Dutch flavor, I would say down to about the middle of the 18th century.
Next, the Duke of York carved off a large slice of his holdings for his friends Sir George Carteret and Lord John Berkeley. This would become the colony of New Jersey. Sparsely populated at the time, the new lords proprietors offered very liberal terms to encourage settlement, including freedom of conscience and representative assembly.